All right, welcome back, finance students. So I'm going to pack a few things in this video here. First thing I want to do is go over 7-5 day 3 homework. We had a few email questions about that. Then we'll do 7-6 day 1 homework. We'll get you the answers for that so you can check your work. And then we're going to do a video on 7-6 day 2 notes, and we'll get you the homework. So first, if you haven't watched it, watch the 7-5 day 3 video. So the topic on that was purchasing mortgage points. Okay, so when you purchase a home, you're going to have to get a loan to purchase that home, and you're going to have an APR for that. Okay, whatever the lending institution you go with is going to have an APR for however much you borrow, for however many years you borrow it. And some lending institutions, banks, whatever, credit unions, they offer points. You can purchase points to lower your APR. Okay, but you got to pay for them at that time, and you can't roll them into your mortgage. You just have to pay for them at that time. So, number 8 was our homework. I did all the work ahead of time. I'm just going to explain the problem. So, the credit union offered Zach a $200,000 10-year loan at 3.625%. Should Zach purchase 1 point or no points? Each point lowers the APR by 0.125%, 1/8%, and costs 1% of the loan value. Justify your reasoning. So the justify part is going to require a lot of work. That's why it was just one problem for homework. So the first thing is, I'll highlight in blue here, you want to determine how much 1 point is going to cost. Well, 1 point is going to cost 1% of $200,000. So 200,000 times 0.01 is going to be $2,000. So Zach's going to have to pay $2,000 if he wants to purchase this point. The next thing is you got to compare without the points, 3.625%, and with the points that he purchases, 3.5%. So you got to use the giant monthly formula. You have to remember to convert this percent to a decimal in all the places that it's required there. And then you got to remember that this is a 10-year loan. So we got to put in 10 there. Normally put in 30 for a traditional 30-year loan. Then we're going to plug in the same thing over here, 3.5%. Okay, and again, this is for 10 years. And if you plug it into your calculator correctly, the monthly payment here is going to be $1,989.45 for 3.625%. And that's right here. And the monthly payment for 3.5% is going to be a little bit less, $1,977.72. So if you figure out the differences there, he's only saving $1,173 per month. Doesn't sound like that much. But it might make a difference over 10 years and 12 months of payments. So what would I do after that? Well, I would take what I found out earlier, this $2,000 that he paid to purchase the point, and I would divide that into $1,173. So how many months is that going to take for him, for it to be worth it? Well, it's going to be 170 months, which is 14.2 years. Well, the loan is only 10 years. Okay, so the answer is no, because this is 14.2 years. So it's not worth it to purchase the points there, because he's going to pay off the loan before he makes up his $2,000. So the answer to that one was no. A lot of you guys put yes, but you got to look at the loan. It's 10 years, and it's going to take 14.2 years to make it worth it. Okay, the next thing, homework. Check your answers. You can pause the video if you need to. Go to 7-6, get your homework out. And you can look at this here. So number 1, $1,668.60. Number 1 right here. Number 2, 18%. Number 3, $1,920. And number 5, 1.5%. Make sure you're showing your work, even if you're doing something in the calculator here. Write out the work over here and then write the equal sign and get to your formula. Okay, next, 7-6 day 2. So go to the 7-6 part of our notes in the packet. And let's see where we're at here. 7-6. So we went through the first page. That was part of our homework. We went through the second First example, second example, go to the next page here. So example 4. So Jake and Gloria moved into an apartment and pay $1,900 rent per month. The landlord told them that the rent has increased 4.1% per year on average. Express the rent Y as an exponential function of the year number X. Sounds confusing, but we'll explain that they are living in the apartment. Okay, that is X equals 1 represents the first year in the apartment, X equals 2 is the second year, and so on. Determine the amount rent will be in their 13th year if the percent continues to go up on 4.1% per year. So we want to write an exponential function. An exponential function looks like this. Okay, it's called an exponential function because the exponent is the variable. All right, so this is the basic, standard exponential function. We're going to make a few changes to represent this problem. But A is your initial value. In this case, it's 1900. And B is your growth. Okay, it could also be decay. But B is your growth. Usually rents are going to rise, so it's going to be growth. What we're going to do here is we're going to write Y equals 1,900. Okay, that's my initial amount that I started with. A is your initial amount. And then I've got to do my B value. So the growth is 4.1%. Okay, but I have to keep in mind it's going to be 4.1% on top of the 1900. So what you're going to do is you're going to do 100%, which is the 1900, plus 4.1%. Okay, to the power of X. And X minus 1. I'll explain the minus 1 in a second. So we have Y equals 1900. And when I add these two up, this is going to be 104.1%. So 104.1. And then I've already counted this first year here. So I'm going to subtract out 1 year. So I'm going to highlight that in purple. I've got to subtract out the first year because I've already counted that first year of 1900. Then the next thing I'm going to do, so I wrote the exponential function right here, and it says we want to figure out what the rent's going to be after 13 years. So we would plug in 13, but take out that first year because we know the price that first year already. So this is going to be 1900 times 104.1 to the 12th power. Okay, and when I do the math on that, we got calculator work here. Let's open up Calculator Plus. I got 1900 times 1.041 to the 12th power, and I end up getting $3,077 and about 25 cents. Okay, so it goes from 1900 to over 3,000, but that's 13 years later. Okay, and it's a pretty big increase there, 4.1%. So your answer is right there. So the key things that you have to remember, I'll just review them. So your B value is 100% plus 4.1%. And you also have, you got to subtract out that first year, X minus 1. Okay, your homework. Go to 7-6. So it's right underneath the homework from last time. So 7-6. Let's find it here. By the way, if you haven't done the extra credit, you can still turn in the extra credit. So 7-6. We are going to do, and I'll put this on School Loop, we're going to do number 11. We're going to skip number 12. And we're going to go 13, 14, and 15. These all have to do with exponential functions. All right, so keep doing what you've been doing. Take a picture of those, turn them in, or submit a screenshot if you have an iPad. You guys have been doing a good job turning those in. Okay, and I will see you guys next time. Hope all is well.